Hello, my name is Chad Paine, and today I would like to talk with you about the paperless office. More specifically, I want you to come away from this presentation with a real sense of what it takes to go paperless, and why I think it's worth the hardship. Why should you listen to me? Well, because I've done it. I planned, supervised, and completed a paperless implementation of approximately 1 million pages. Now, the first step in this journey together is a quick understanding of what it means to be truly paperless. To be paperless, 100% of the documents that flow into your business must be converted to a digital format. And 100% of the documents you produce and store must also be digital. Scared yet? Well, don't be. With some planning and the right technology, this is an attainable goal. To fully understand the challenges in implementing a paperless environment and operating within it, it's important to explain in a non-industry specific way just what needs to be considered to go paperless. Let's start with migration. Migrating all of your business's documents can seem like an insurmountable task. Depending on the amount of paper currently stored in your company, it may take years to fully digitize everything. Fortunately, like the assembly lines of the old fictional cartoon factories, once the implementation plan is fleshed out and started, it can be executed with ease, efficiency, and minimal oversight. The migration planning can be separated into the following categories. First, understanding what and how much needs to be migrated. Pretty much self-explanatory, any paper, photo, scrap that's being stored. According to FileX, which is a respected purveyor of document imaging services, generally a 14 by 12 box holds approximately 2,800 pages, while a vertical 4-drawer file cabinet holds approximately 14,000, and our favorite lateral 4-drawer file cabinet holds approximately 20,000. Next, where will these digital files be stored? Depending on the IT infrastructure in place, this can be a simple or a complex part of the plan. To me, this can make or break the implementation. If your company has significant private or public cloud storage, the answer is simple. Ensure that the amount of storage is sufficient and use it. If your company has no centralized file storage infrastructure, file servers, high-speed network, external portal, etc., then there's a lot to be done to prepare. Basically, to reap all of the benefits of going paperless, a business should have a centralized file storage infrastructure that is accessible anywhere your employees do business. A simpler approach is to subscribe to an enterprise cloud storage solution. For more information on cloud services, watch my video, Cloud Services versus On-Premises Infrastructure, on YouTube. How much storage will I need exactly? Well, the short answer is, I can't tell you that. The long answer is that knowing how much storage a company will need depends on the amount of pages to be scanned, the size of the documents, the quality the business chooses for the files, DPI, color versus black and white, etc., and the file formats used, PDF, TIFF, JPEG, PNG, .doc, etc. My advice here is to choose your storage methods wisely, specifically for their ease of expandability. Fortunately, digital storage is cheap and easily supplemented in an ad hoc fashion. Who will be doing the migration? I've heard of companies hiring high school or college kids, temps, third parties, and so on. Whomever is chosen doesn't need to be a rocket scientist, but having an attention to detail is certainly a plus. What devices will be used? If you choose to use a third party, they should be able to give the pages per minute, ppms, of their scanners or pages per day. Remember, no matter what, you'll need to purchase scanners to handle external entities sending you paper documents after implementation. For the initial migration, it is important that whatever solution is decided upon has the ability to scan as many pages per minute as possible. Whether it's a purchase, some device already on hand, or the simultaneous use of multiple devices. The progress of the migration is highly dependent on the collective speed of the devices used to convert your paper. Before migrating, a standard file format must also be chosen. For documents, my recommendation is PDF. It's one of the most ubiquitous file formats in the world, is an open standard, meaning no one owns the specific rights to it, and has been published by the International Organization of Standardization, or ISO, which is the world's largest developer of voluntary international standards. Next, let's briefly discuss employee pushback and employee buy-in. This is often an overlooked factor in implementation that I feel must be dealt with to successfully implement a paperless office. Many offices experience what I like to call the paper cache effect. This is when employees hoard paper, refusing to let the paperless monster come in and take their valuable documents. The only way to avoid this and other issues are by communicating what's going on in the company, by going through user acceptance testing, where the employee gets to see where their documents are going, and more importantly, they get to try it out, and identifying a champion for each logical grouping of employees in a business. This person is tasked with helping employees understand what's going on the employee's terms, and to inform the rumors away. Finally, training. There needs to be extensive training on how to use the scanners, access the files, and generally deal with incoming paper. It's always nice for employees to have a crutch when dealing with such a far-reaching change. My recommendation is to use a solution like OneNote to document new employee processes and equipment how-tos. It's a flexible and digital notebook application that comes with Microsoft Office. The next piece of the puzzle is devices. This also depends on your current infrastructure and boils down to whether every employee who needs to view the digitized media has a device to do so. This means computers for office employees and internet-connected laptops or tablets for mobile employees. The good news is there are many cheap options these days. Additionally, there needs to be some method for incoming paper, invoices, contracts, etc., to be converted into your digital format of choice. Consequently, if you take my advice and choose PDF, you will not have any trouble finding compatible scanners. Finally, there needs to be a way to transmit these digital files via fax. Many people forget that in dealing with customers, and especially the government, faxing is often requested or required. Fortunately, there are solutions like eFax and RingCentral that make it easy to send a fax via email. The final piece of the puzzle is software. This is a rather complex subject, as it depends a lot on what a business wants to get out of its documents. There are many solutions on the market that turn one's documents into smart files, capable of performing all sorts of advanced functions automatically, like reminding a purchasing department that a vendor is late with a bid, automatically transmit itself to the customer via email based on a schedule. The possibilities are endless here. Now, why would I want to go through all of that? First, scale. To say that digital files take up almost no space when compared to paper files may mean nothing to you. So I want you to do me a favor. After this presentation, take stock of every space in your office, including individual offices and the basement if there is one, that has file cabinets, boxes, piles of paper. Now, imagine what you could be doing with those spaces, because being paperless means that those spaces will be empty. Okay, but where did all of those files go, you may ask? Stored digitally on a few of these. Meet the file room replacement, a standard SAS 15,000 RPM 500 gig hard drive. Now, let's talk about lower operating costs. Unless you have a marketing department, there should be almost no reason to purchase paper. So, strike that off the budget. Since there's no paper, there's little to no need for big copiers and printers. Also, I've witnessed businesses all over the place that spend a ton of money on mailing different things to their remote offices, customers, vendors, and other agencies. Why do that anymore when you can email, fax, or direct deposit anything and everything? Speaking of logistics, another positive to the paperless office is being able to disseminate any of the digital files to anyone within a few seconds. No more waiting 3 business days for an important contract to be signed and returned. No more driving back to the main office because the plans you picked up were the wrong ones. Tell me, how nice would it be to be able to retrieve that invoice or contract from a few months ago when confronted with an accusatory or unreasonable customer? Ask yourself, do you think it would be beneficial for your sales force if they could access all point-of-sale reference materials from anywhere at any time? Not only can your digital files be accessed remotely, they can be accessed by many people simultaneously. Gone will be the days of hunting for a particular paper document that Bob from accounting had, but now can't remember who he gave it to. Or waiting on Sue from purchasing to find the bid sheet she misplaced on her desk for your new framing subcontractor. Now, one of the concepts I touched on earlier is this notion of smart files. It's worth mentioning again because I feel it can be one of the biggest boons to your business. I touched on some high-level examples already, but let me give you a specific one. As part of the Paperless Office initiative at my company, my team and I were tasked with automating large portions of the accounts payable process. In mixing software solutions with the digitization of our incoming documents, we were able to decentralize the approval and coding of incoming costs. This meant that budget and process owners, or their proxies, could approve and dictate where the costs would be posted up front. Once approved and coded, the only job AP had in relation to these documents was to handle miscoded items. This allowed us to remove substantial salary overhead in some tough financial times. Finally, the environment. In eliminating the purchase of paper and the eventual destruction or discarding of it, you'll be doing your part to help the environment, a fact that you can then advertise to your customers. To quote Theodore Roosevelt, "Nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort." It's true that there's a lot to consider when talking about going paperless with your business. It's also true that in some cases it may take a long time. But considering the substantial gains in efficiency and savings in overhead that only multiply as your business grows, the way you would be looking at this is how little needs to be done here. Think about it. Even if it takes a few years to implement this change, that's it. The hard work is over, and you'll be realizing the advantages of this move for the life of your business. Thank you.